An absolute must-have 33.6% increase to SSI benefits, otherwise known as Supplemental Security Income. I have all the details for you here in the video and what you need to know about this. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. All right, now first off, everything I'm talking about here in this video directly pertains to SSI, again, Supplemental Security Income, and the roughly 8 million beneficiaries that do receive these benefits every single month from the Social Security Administration. We do have some preliminary numbers on the table right now for 2025, and it is yielding potentially a 33.6% increase, along with some legislation that lawmakers have in their possession right now that would increase these benefits massively, multiple hundreds of dollars every single month, which would be incredibly helpful for the SSI beneficiaries that really need this. Now, again, I want to compare the preliminary information that is on the table right now for 2025, and again, how this pertains to SSI benefits. We're going to see some massive discrepancies. However, the legislation that lawmakers have fixes all of that. Not bad. I like it a lot, right? All right, so anyway, we've got a lot of numbers here, a bunch of percentages, but I'm going to break it all down for you can see exactly what's going on. And again, all of this is the preliminary information for 2025. We will have the official information sometime in mid-ish January. Again, it oscillates a little bit, but I will bring you all of that once we hit the official announcements on this. Again, I'll bring it to you right away. All right, so let's quickly talk about some different numbers here that we need to know for 2025. First off, what is the maximum benefit for an individual? You already know this. $967 for an individual is the maximum benefit for an individual SSI 2025. For a married couple, $1,450 for a married couple for SSI in 2025, right? You already know these. That is based on the new COLA, the 2.5%, boosting those benefits up. However, here is the other preliminary information out there. The federal poverty line. Remember, federal poverty line adjusts higher every single year. As of right now, it's likely going to adjust higher by about 3%, give or take a little bit. So the preliminary numbers are coming in as the federal poverty line in 2025 for an individual of $15,510 or $1,292 a month is what that translates into. Keep these numbers in mind. They're all going to make sense here in just a second. Now, on the level for a married couple, again, preliminary information for 2025, federal poverty line for a household of two would be $21,050 or $1,754 a month. Okay, keep those numbers in mind. I'll give them to you here in just a second again. All right, now let's look at the legislation that is out there that lawmakers literally have in their possession right now, which would fix this problem in a massive way and boost benefits significantly. Okay. What is one of the major provisions that lawmakers want to do to the SSI program? Raise benefits to the federal poverty line. Every year, the federal poverty line increases, again, 2, 3, 4, 5.5%. Over the last couple of years here, that's generally what it's been. Between the 3 to 5.5% range every year is how much the federal poverty line is going up. Guess what SSI benefits are not doing? Yeah, they're not going up by nearly that same dollar amount. They're just not. So they continue to fall behind the federal poverty line. Well, guess what? Let me give you the numbers behind this. For 2025, again, the preliminary numbers, again, $15,510 or $1,292 a month, compared to, by the way, that's for an individual, compared to the $967 a month for an individual receiving SSI, that's a difference of 33.6%. In other words, what that really means is that SSI beneficiaries have a discrepancy of 33.6% below the federal poverty line. That's massive. That's huge. That's a huge increase that beneficiaries need to their monthly benefit just to bring them up to the federal poverty line and be basically not living in poverty anymore. Which, by the way, you might be wondering, what is that on a dollar amount basis? It's $325 a month. That's the difference. That's the spread between the potential and preliminary 2025 federal poverty line for an individual versus the maximum benefit as an SSI beneficiary of $967. $325 a month. That's crazy, right? So basically this one little provision within some legislation that's out there lawmakers have, just by passing this one simple provision, would increase benefits by 33.6% or $325 a month up to the federal poverty line. Now again, federal poverty line could still change. These are the preliminary numbers that are out there. In other words, they're not official. That's what preliminary means. Just like the guesstimates, the speculations, whatever. That's what they're at right now. Okay. That's a huge difference, and that would honestly change the lives of millions of people in a massive way. That'd be incredible for the people that receive this. And realistically, this is the purpose of the SSI program in the first place. The program started back in the early 70s, literally as an anti-poverty program. You've probably heard me talk about that before in other videos, because it's true. Look it up if you want to. Richard Nixon and his buddies back then, they passed it as an anti-poverty program so that seniors age 65 or older, or those people living with a disability under the age of 65, didn't need to be reliant on friends and family for basically financial stability. It's literally the purpose of the program. So anyway, we can see how it's keeping up these days. It's not. It keeps falling behind. That's the massive problem. Okay, now let's quickly talk about a married couple, okay? I'll give you some more numbers here for you and the preliminary numbers for 2025. Okay, remember, I said the preliminary numbers for the federal poverty line of a household of two is $21,050 for 2025. Okay, that's what it's coming in at right now. Divided out on a monthly basis, that comes out to be $1,754 a month. Okay, that's what the federal poverty line would be for a household of two. But remember, what is the maximum benefit for an SSI couple in 2025? $1,450. That's the difference, right? Now, that is a difference of, or that's the maximum. Now, the difference between these two is $304 a month, or just under 21%. So you see the point here? Even a married couple would need to see a boost to their benefit of just under 21%. Let's just call it 21%. It's basically that. It's a little under that, but let's just call it 21%. They would need to see a benefit boost of 21% from $1,450 a month up to $1,754 a month just to be at the federal poverty line for a household of two in 2025. Do you see the differences here? That's incredible, right? An individual, 33.6% raise, married couple, 21% raise, just to bring them to parity with the federal poverty line. That's nuts, okay? Now, this is the difference between basically negative compounding over the course of, say, 53 years-ish, because, again, the program started in 1972. Here we go, 2025. 53 years, right? So what I mean by negative compounding, here's what happened. Over that 53-year amount of time, over 53 years, what happened is that these benefits have fallen behind the federal poverty line by a little bit each and every year. It honestly doesn't even need to be that much. 0.5% here, 0.2% there, 0.7% there, maybe 0.1%. You take all of these little adjustments that benefits should have been going up over the last 53 years, and they didn't, and then you compound that over the course of 53 years of time, and now you have a discrepancy of 33.6% and 21%. You see the differences? That is basically compounding, and why it's so incredible. I mean, compounding is really good when it's working in our favor. Unfortunately, compounding has been working negatively for SSI beneficiaries over the last 53 or so years, and that's what's happened. Just small, very small incremental changes to SSI, or lack of changes, I should say, where benefits maybe should have gone up, say, 1.3%, but really they went up 1.1%. Again, that little discrepancy, a little bit every single year, compounded over 53 years, and now we have a massive problem, which is what SSI benefits are well below the federal poverty line. Again, not even in line with what the program started as, anti-poverty program, literally what it's supposed to be for, right? So anyway, I don't know. To me, it looks like if you looked at the legislation that's out there, all they would have to do is pass one simple piece of legislation, raise SSI benefits to the federal poverty line. What would this do? It would instantly raise benefits up to the federal poverty line, and it also lift about 8 million people instantly out of poverty. Seniors, 65 plus, people under the age of 65 with a disability living on SSI, they would instantly be lifted out of the federal above the federal poverty line, which, by the way, just to put it into perspective, right now, there's about 40 million people in this country living in poverty. And what are lawmakers doing? Nothing. What have they done over the last few years? Nothing. What do they keep talking about? Oh, we've got to eradicate poverty in this country. Okay, and what are you doing about it? Nothing. Okay, so what are you going to do about it? I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's the crazy thing. We could literally go from the people living in poverty in this country, we could reduce it by about 8 million people practically overnight by just basically pledging to raise these benefits. And how much would it really cost? Well, that's a really good question. Honestly, I'd have to run the math on it. I have not run the math on it technically yet. But let's just round it. I'm just going to run some real simple mental math here for a second. 3 times 8, 24. That's about $24 billion a year. I think my math is right on that. I could be off a little bit. I think it'd be about 24 billion. Is it a year or per month? Maybe it's 24 million. It could be 24 billion a month, okay? I could be wrong. I'm trying to calculate this in my head right now. Just give me the benefit of the doubt. Either way, it's going to be $24 billion, I think, on a monthly basis. Okay, fine. What is that on an annualized basis? It's about 300 and, what is it? It's about 290. There you go. Sorry. $290 billion more per year. Okay, my math could be off on that. I could be off quite a bit. I apologize. I'm trying to run this as I talk here. But you get my point. Okay, do they blow $300 billion on a bunch of other bad projects and a bunch of other things that we probably don't agree with? Yeah, probably, right? So this would probably be a pretty good use of money, and it'll also help a lot of people that really, really need it, seniors, and again, people with disabilities in a massive way. All right, so anyway, let's leave it at that for now. I hope this helps you to understand the situation here. I will continue to keep you posted as we get those official numbers here in just a matter of weeks. Of course, I'll bring that to your attention, what it means going forward. But yeah, hope this helps you. And again, for those of you receiving SSI, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be, as well as any other benefits out there administered by Social Security. I'm watching it all very closely and bringing you updates literally every day and watching everything else out there you can possibly grab or take advantage of. So can I ask a huge favor of you? Please make sure to subscribe down below. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, just make sure to subscribe. Again, totally free to do so. Big subscribe button right down below. Thank you. Really, really appreciate that. Otherwise, if you can think of at least one or two people that benefit from either this video or any of those here on the channel, please feel free to share this video. There's a share button right down below. It'd mean a lot to me. Thank you. I just really appreciate all of you here in the community. I want to do whatever I possibly can to bring up the topics no one else is talking about because they're too afraid. They're too afraid to bring this to the attention of anybody. I'm not afraid of that. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how low-income seniors and people with disabilities are literally getting stiffed by this program. I'm not afraid to talk about that. It's the reality. There's nothing wrong with facing the truth here. There's nothing wrong about talking about the reality because that's what's really going on. Anyway, please feel free to share the video. Share button down below. Thank you. I just really appreciate all of you here in the community. I want to do whatever I possibly can for you. Also, please feel free to like the video. Thumbs up button down below. Check out the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Well over 5,000 videos in the video library. Check those out. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description at the top of the comment section. And right now showing up on your screen as well. You'll see some videos there. Thanks again. Please have a nice day. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Stay warm out there, and I'll catch you again later.